FM Sport.
Yeah, it's exciting. Boys are still coming in drips and drabs at the moment, so I think it'll be good once we're all connected and we're all together. It'll most likely only be in Joburg, but it's nice to link up before you get on a plane and go. I think there's a bit of a positive in doing it that way. So a nice series to get back into the groove of things. Obviously, it is a bit different to SA20, and it's nice to not get the rust away, but just get back and settled in camp.
Cool. So go Nasri, Nathan, Telford, those.
Aiden, you landed just the other day. Delop is getting in form. It just seems like a lot of your players is getting in form at just the right time. Just as a captain, how exciting is that going into the season and the World Cup?
Yeah, it's strange because the whole SA20, obviously I was locked in for DSG, but I just kept looking at the boys and how they're doing. That was where my head was at. And it's been awesome to see. I feel like everyone's in a really good space. Informal conversations in the buses and stuff, and everyone's sort of feeling that same good energy that the guys are in a good space. Quite a few of the guys have done well, and are showing some really good signs. So you'd much rather be in that space as a team than maybe sitting with a few guys that have been struggling. So we're blessed that the boys are looking really good, and I can take that confidence now to India.
Telford?
Aiden, you've had a couple of forced changes to your squad from injury, and I know you've replaced them with, you could make an argument that they're similar players, but I wonder what it does. They're different personalities, and I wonder what that does in your dressing room. You know, is that something you've got to think about as a captain to manage? Suddenly these guys are out and those guys are in?
The tough part is chatting to the guys that are missing out. You look at a guy like Tony, he's been working so hard to get to a World Cup. It's all he's been wanting to do as a player. His white ball form of recent has been something that's really excited us, and he was busting everything he could to get on that plane, and unfortunately sometimes the way the cookie crumbles and you're just not ready in time, and those conversations are quite hard for me as a captain to chat to those guys. But then you look at the inclusions. Those guys have been part of the squads now for the last couple of years, so I think they'll just fit straight in, and everyone obviously knows everyone. We've spent a lot of time together, and the inclusions is a much easier side of things, but your heart sort of, you feel very sorry for the guys that are missing out.
Just on Stubbs, he came right last night and seemed to have really enjoyed himself as captain. You would have seen him struggle, and now maybe start to find form again. What has that been like watching from the outside? Have you chatted to him at all?
I tried to get hold of him last night, but there was no chance he was going to chat. I'm just so bloody happy for him, to be honest. He's one of the few guys in the team where everyone just wants him to do well the whole time, because he's that sort of person, and he grafts really hard. He's the ultimate pro, and I think when you put all that hard work in and you don't get results, you can get quite down on yourself, and even your peers feel sorry for you as well. And when guys like that then come out of that and play a knock like he does last night, you can only be happy for the guys. So great for him to obviously do it in a final, a big game, a knockout, final. And I think when you do well in big games like that, you take a lot of confidence for the next time that you're in a knockout game, wherever it might be. So he got quite a few things right last night, and the boys are very happy for him.
And just sorry, on Tony, I think was he part of the DSG setup? So like you obviously saw was it your job then to tell him that, sorry, this is not happening, or you mentioned you spoke to him?
Yeah, I just chatted to him briefly. Bob chatted to him a couple of weeks ago before it was all announced, and he was like full of beans, ready to go, been working hard. It's obviously not my job to chat to him and tell him he's not going. It was people higher up. But then you chat to him after that, and then it all feels like it's for nothing from his point of view. So you feel sorry for the guy. But yeah, he's been doing a lot of the right things, been showing some really good signs in the white ball format, and gets picked up in the SA20, which is big based on what he was doing, and makes a World Cup team. Unfortunately, it just works out this way, but I'm pretty sure he'll go to a few more World Cups in his time.
And with a series like this, this close to a World Cup, is it more important to combinations and different stages of the game and making sure that you tactically line up for the World Cup, or is it more important to win and breed winning?
Yeah, you want to win. I'll always be a captain that wants to win. Been through a lot of bilateral series where we've lost, and it's incredibly frustrating. You do have to understand where we're at currently and what's to come, and try get guys in a series like this where hopefully in the World Cup they find themselves playing similar roles, entering the game at the most accurate times, if you can say. But also managing the boys. They've had a busy SA20. It's quite a tough schedule, the SA20, and understanding if guys need a rest and put the feet up and rest the brain, whatever it might be, that we give them that opportunity as well. So it'll be a very individual thing, but definitely try to get guys into the exact roles we hopefully foresee them doing in the World Cup, and with that, still try win as well.
Cool, then go to here, then Nathan and Colin.
Just a two-part question. In terms of your side, obviously you want to play attacking cricket and Olympic, but how do you actually go about saying, putting the foot down instead of holding and then pulling the trigger? Is that something that you guys consistently talk about in terms of, you see scores in India 270, 250, that's really great. So how do you keep, just basically drum the message on and keep that?
Yeah. I think in India you can really take the game on from a batting point of view. For us as South Africans, we're still getting there to that level, but I think a lot of it, I mean, you look at the wickets that we play on here, and you can't just come out and tee off, because you could get bowled out for 50, as we've seen. So there's a bit more game management required in various sets of conditions, and that's obviously what the boys have been through now. But then going to India, I think you can open up a bit more and free up. But the language is, I mean, we all know how T20 cricket, how you're meant to play it. But from our side and the management side, it's freedom to do it your way. Whatever you feel the team needs in that moment, you have complete freedom to do that and do it your way. And I think that's how you can get the best out of the players, and the guys have sort of taken that on quite nicely. So there's no judging from the side. It's, am I doing the right thing? Am I going hard enough? They assess it out there in the middle. What's a good score? And Bahoka Bakruk, we must just try to get there.
And just on the, you've seen a lot of the West Indies in the sea in the last couple of months. How much intel do you take from that into this next application?
Yeah, and they've done really well as well. So great to test ourselves against guys that are in form as well. Some guys that have been here for a while and know the conditions, and I'm sure they'll communicate through their group as well as to how to do well here. So should be a good test for us. If you can keep guys that are in red hot form down, I think from a bowling point of view, you take a lot of confidence out of that. And same with the bat. If you can get on top of bowlers that are seemingly bowling well, then yeah, you take that confidence too.
Aiden, will this be sort of like a dress rehearsal for you guys, and try to find combinations ahead of the World Cup? And obviously you guys do have that warm-up game against India.
Yeah, it'll be tough. I think you just have to obviously manage where each guy is at as well. So some guys played literally last night, and you don't want to risk them running out tomorrow. For example, if they feel the need to rest. Some guys are keen to play, and then by all means they're on the park and they're involved, but we kind of have an understanding of where each guy fits in and how it all affects the rest, and so combinations I think we're fine. It's now just trying to get them exposed to that role and time in the middle doing what's needed of them in that role.
Aiden, so in the SA20, there has been quite a lot of Proteas that are obviously captains. You've got Eathen Markram, you've got Tristan obviously at the previous team, and you also got Keshav. How much do you lean on them? Are you going to lean on them for advice on what they learn from captaining the teams?
Yeah, I think it's, you as a captain still have to be really strong in doing it your way. But there's always times where you might feel stumped, and then I think it's great to then be able to lean on guys that you trust, guys that you've been leaning on in the past. So it's always a, what do you call it, like a collective effort decision making. It always works out that way, but I think there's certain moments as a captain where your gut speaks to you, and you need to follow that feeling. Because if things go south, it's hard to explain afterwards, whereas if you go with your gut and things don't work out, it's easy to explain, and we can move on from there. So times will tell, I guess, when it is tricky and your gut's not speaking to you, then yeah, you lean on the guys that you know and trust.
Just one more. With regards to, it's obviously going to be in India, so spinners going to come into play. play in a lot of the grounds. When you decide to bowl yourself, how do you come to that decision on when to take the ball?
A lot of it is before the game, the homework that you're doing, analysis, stuff like that. Guys that maybe are slightly weaker against off spin, it could be a right-hander, it could be a left-hander. And then that, but also conditions. So even if a guy's really good against off spin, but it's spinning square, there's no point bowling the seamer, right? I still think it's tougher hitting the off spinner on a wicket that's spinning. So it's about that feel, I guess. We obviously missing out with Don, and he's been bowling quite nicely. So more responsibility with the ball from my side, and yeah, I'll be working hard to hopefully play a role with that.
And given the changes to the squad, safe to assume that you're in a 3 now. Can you confirm what the plans are with that?
Yeah, I mean, you can actually say if you want where I must bat, it just keeps changing. So it could be anywhere. I'm pretty sure with Shooks though, he'll keep me up top. He's quite adamant on that, and I've always been a sort of whatever goes, and wherever the team best needs me to bat or feels I can fit in and do that role. But Shooks has been adamant that I must open, so I think we'll do well to change his mind.
He's been away for a month.
Any further questions?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you actually want that 3?
I quite enjoy opening now, to be honest. I've been jumping around quite a bit. Really enjoyed batting 4 actually, because it's a really different challenge. And I did that for a period of time and felt like I was starting to find a way to consistently do well, although the numbers might not have been there, and more of an understanding, and then I changed back to the top, and then it's pretty 3, and then it's all over. So I'm not too fussed. Yeah, been fortunate enough to play now for a little bit and try to find ways to impact the game at whatever number it is, and just try to give that a crack on the day, I suppose.
Aiden, I want to ask about Keshav.
Similar.
I want to ask about Keshav. He was very emotional last night. He said the loss was very painful and so on. I just wanted to ask you, did you put the arm around him? I mean, you played with him for a long time. Is he someone that just goes tomorrow and just straps on the Proteas jersey and carries on like he did?
He's good enough to do that, yeah, but him as a person, he's an all-in type of guy, so it would have hurt him for sure. It's not that he's emotional, it's just that he cares and he puts a lot of love into it, and then you come just short the way that game unfolded as well. You understand why he's hurting, so when I see him either later or in the morning, definitely get an arm around him and get him riled up. I chatted to him a bit last night as well and just said the trophy that you really want to win is the one in a few weeks' time, and that's what we're going to go for now. So he was all in for that, as he always is, and yeah, we'll try to get him over last night as quick as we can and get him looking forward to the World Cup as quick as we can.